Perfect. Hello, Fujon. Today is June 6th. No, it isn't. July 6th. July 6th Park. Amazing. Never mind. As you can probably tell, I have had quite the busy past few days. So like obviously there was the vaccination. I got a haircut because I need one because my hair was just getting a bit too complex and such. Yesterday I went and got my nose violated so that I'll be able to actually go back into Ireland. I also ran a D&D game yesterday. I haven't actually run a D&D game in like over a year. The game yesterday, it didn't really go as well as I had hoped. Like I didn't write out enough of a story. I didn't make the plot like good enough or anything that I could have. There was a lot left to be desired, but hopefully my players still found it somewhat enjoyable. But I do genuinely wish I had done a lot more preparation. But interestingly enough, yesterday I woke up pretty early. Then I went to go get a haircut, and the guy, I'm pretty happy with the haircut. But then as he was finishing up, the guy reached over and he just put a glob of wax in my hair. Just kind of like he just made it all nice, then he fucked it right back up. Just like, my guy, no. And it's like, I couldn't stop him because he'd already started. And I was like, fuck. Hey, at least it washes out, so there's that. As well as that, I was getting a PCR test to be allowed back into Ireland because I have to prove that I don't have coronavirus because, you know, pandemic and such. And I booked an appointment for midday on the dot. And I arrived and there was a pretty substantial queue, so I was like, oh, okay. But, and I didn't really think too much of it, because when I was getting tested to be able to fly over to the Netherlands after Christmas, there was a big queue, but like I was in and out in 10 minutes total, so it wasn't a problem at all. But I was in that queue yesterday for an hour and 45 minutes. I only got out of there at like almost 2 o'clock. I arrived at 11:50, and it was like 2 hours later before I was able to leave. That was just fucking ridiculous. So needless to say, my legs were a little bit tired after yesterday, but I've kind of been a little bit banged up and tired a bit lately. Like I've got giant mosquito bites everywhere, like on my hand. It's just I'm being ravaged every time I go to bed. So that's irritating. The vaccine caused a little bit of arm pain. Thankfully no actual side effects, but like my arm was a little bit sore for the rest of the day. Like I couldn't raise it above here without being like too painful to move, but thankfully now it's all fine because it's just a vaccine. That's normal. Like anytime you put any sort of needle into muscle, it'll cause a little bit of pain in that regards. The vaccine experience, I didn't actually record very much of it because you know, there was a lot of people around and it was very, very busy, so I didn't want to get in the way of anyone. You look at the film Pandemic or Epidemic, I don't remember, the one with Matt Damon in it. That film, you can see like kind of apocalyptic things where they have people in giant domes and such. It's essentially what I was in. I was literally on an ice hockey rink that they had converted into a big giant vaccination center, and it was very rapid. Like I walked in and then mere 30 seconds later I had a needle in my arm. It was incredibly efficient. Like you gotta hand it to the Dutch. They know how to make things move along quickly. But then there was that 15-minute wait period afterwards just to make sure you don't have like an adverse reaction. And then it was off on my way. I funnily enough, the only places that I could get vaccinated were either nearby, but after my flight, or out in the middle of fucking nowhere. So I took various train methods to get to the vaccination center because it was in Zoetermeer, which is very far away. I've not actually traveled around much in the Netherlands despite living here for 2 years at this point, and multiple train services, different companies running different rails. It's really, really convenient how the Dutch travel card just works on everything, because if I had to like pay a fare or get different tickets, that would have slowed down the process astronomically. So I'm just glad I was able to make my way there, even if it was a bit indirect. Even then, there was still a fair bit of walking that I had to do, and I wasn't really in the position to do that because I was quite exhausted from helping Ruan get a mattress from IKEA for his new apartment. That I think in the day I walked 12 kilometers, which really 12 kilometers isn't that bad. 16,000 steps is not, that's not out of the ordinary for most people. But I've kind of been sitting down at this desk most of the days, so I'm out of practice. I have not been being healthy. I haven't been active or anything like that. I just haven't had the chance to. And now one final extra thing. I have been doing intermittent fasting for a number of weeks now, 40 days at this point. So I think, and I said I would keep doing it until I went back to Ireland, and my flight's tomorrow, so I think it's time to do a retrospective. Here's a chart of my weight since I started fasting. And yeah, looks like there was no major impact whatsoever. I am exactly the same weight that I started at, which, yay, great, amazing. What excellent work I've done. And even yesterday or 2 days ago, I had that extra spike. I don't know what that was about. I didn't even eat that much. I don't know what the story is there, but evidently I thought I was in control of my weight, being able to like hold off on snacking, but no, it turns out nothing. If you look at the calorie intake, and I don't really know how to put this into a good chart, so you just have to take my word. My caloric intake reduced by about 11.5% compared to the rest of 2021, but my weight didn't drop, so I don't know how this works. I don't understand biology, but I guess I'll just keep tracking data and see if things work out. But I will probably give up fasting because it didn't make a measurable difference. Anyway, future Alan, I'll see you tomorrow.